Welcome back, everyone, to Sean's show. I am so excited. We are here with Connor, as always, behind the keys, all the way broadcasting to you from Russia. We are in the Kremlin. I am switching sides. I am on the Axis powers of the imminent Third World War, which will be happening imminently, as I said earlier. I don't know. People talk about where the lines will be drawn. I don't know. I really don't know, because you see the news. Thanks for being a listener. We're going to cover a lot. We are going to cover Trump's new war with everyone. Trump is at war with everyone. Trump is at war. He's the no new wars president, but he loves to go to war. And that's kind of the problem, is like a lot of people in the US I don't know how, that's just how charismatic Donald Trump is that he convinced everyone that he's the no new wars president when his entire life has been going to war publicly, psychologically, physically, and financially with enemies. Okay, he's had enemies since his birth, and people said he's not going to start any wars, and here we are. Trump is at war with Minneapolis. He is at war with Greenland. He is at war with NATO. He is at war with his own hands. Have you seen his hands lately? His hands are blue. He is going to war with his own body and his own flesh and his own mind. This is a man, whatever you feel about Donald Trump, this is a man of war, okay? He's a man of war, a stingray, okay? But we're going to get to everything. And he's also at war, by the way, with Jerome Powell. That's a new one, chair of the Federal Reserve. Look at that. I mean, and that's with makeup. Guys, this is Trump. If you're just listening, we got a great shot of Donald Trump's, he's wearing a nice suit, though. You see that shirt? Ugh. I mean, I don't know. I've known a lot of old people, and their hands have never looked dead. Why do Donald Trump's hands look like they're actual dead flesh?
Dumbledore hands.
He does. He has Dumbledore-ass hands. He's fascist door. He's Donald Dumbledore. His hands, he's at Donald Trump. So we're gonna get to a lot today. So thank you for being a listener. If you are not already, please subscribe on YouTube, like the show, or dislike the show if you want. Leave me a comment on YouTube. You know how it goes. Review the show on Spotify. Follow us on Spotify, wherever you're listening. Follow us on Apple Podcasts. I hate saying it every time, but please do it, because I'm losing $3,500 a month on the show, and I need you to subscribe before I commit suicide. All right, I'm radically honest. This is the only comedy podcast left where I'm radically honest about every single thing in my life, except for my personal life, which I like to lie about. That's a joke, of course, but I am radically honest about my feelings, and I'm not corrupted by money. If anything, I'm corrupted in the opposite way, because I'm losing so much money. I'm motivating myself to be more honest because I'm losing so much money that I need to be honest. I can't afford to sell out. What's the opposite of selling out? I'm selling in.
Buying in.
I'm buying. There you go. Wow. You should be the host. That was
No.
Buying in. Most comedy podcasts are selling out. I'm buying in. I'm going all in. By the way, we're going to watch an excerpt from the All In podcast, because every podcast now is just reacting to other podcasts. That's also what I'm trying to avoid. But we will be watching our favorite man. I want to revisit, this is not from this week, but we're also going to revisit Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir. Palantir's down, by the way. Give it up, guys. Yes. I don't know how Palantir is down when ICE is running Minneapolis right now. I don't know how that makes sense, but the stock market is its own thing. We have a lot to cover, so I am excited. I don't know where we should start, Connor. I mean, there's so much. I have a fuckload of stories. So, I mean, I'm literally giddy with excitement because the world is in such a good place. It was a slow news week. Wasn't it? Let's start with Greenland. I think Greenland is on there somewhere. So, just to set this up. So the No News Wars president has decided that we are going to buy Greenland. And the powers of Europe, some of the countries in Europe are organizing their armies and positioning them against our army in the United States against. Now, we're all in NATO, I think. I don't even know if we're in NATO anymore. What is NATO without the United States, though, to be honest, right? I mean, people say like, this international law, all this stuff is only really held up by the money that the countries give, right? Or else it doesn't really have any power. But Donald Trump has decided that we need Greenland because if we don't take Greenland, then China will. Now, I think China, that is not the logic of a sound ruler. Like that is not the kind of diplomacy that, I expected no less from Mr. Trump, but I don't know. I think a lot of people that voted for him would not be happy to see that we're going to buy Greenland. And we're going to buy them for cheap. We're going to buy Greenland for $700 billion. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that's a pretty cheap price. Buying Greenland, this is from NBC, buying Greenland could cost as much as $700 billion. Can you scroll down to this photo, Connor? So there's some protesters in Greenland. This woman holds up a sign that says, "We are not for sale." Bitch, I'm sorry you're for sale. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but and that's the funny thing. That's the funny irony of like trying to buy a country. You like buying as if there's this market where you can buy. I don't know, like, what is going on? What is going on now? What is going on? Hold on. I thought that hold on. Wait a minute. If Greenland can be purchased for $700 billion, Trump wants to buy Greenland for $700 billion. If I have enough money, can I buy Israel? Can I buy that country? Or is that not for sale? So are some countries and some countries and some people, their sovereignty is a commodity. Greenland, the country of Greenland, I don't even know. It's a colony of Denmark. That whole, I am, you want to know how I know I'm an American? I'm an American because I could not tell you the difference between Switzerland, Sweden, Denmark, Greenland, Iceland. That's all, to me, that's all Northern Europe. And you guys you guys are, the way I imagine Northern Europe is like very, very kind and very welcoming white supremacists. Like that's how I imagine Northern Europe is. It's very, very beautiful. The views are gorgeous. There's lots of skiing and there's lots of xenophobia. I imagine a ton. I've never been to Northern Europe, so I can't really, but I am Irish, which is that's not really Northern Europe, but I am. I'm of European descent, but the country is mad. We are not for sale, says the people of Greenland. But let's scroll down and let's see how we're gonna buy them. I would like to buy your country. Could you punch in a little bit there, Connor? My eyes are bleeding from I read so much news this week. You ever read so much news that your eyes just bleed? My eyes are filled with blood. By the way, you know who else's eyes are filled with blood? ICE shot a protester and blinded him in one eye. This 27-year-old kid. Crazy. There's blinding, and all he did was go up to the ICE agent and go for his gun. All he did, I don't know what he did. So the United States could have, listen to this. This is insane. This is from NBC. The United States could have to pay as much as $700 billion if it were to achieve President Donald Trump's goal of buying Greenland, according to three people familiar with the cost estimate. The estimate was generated by scholars and, what does that say, farmers?
Former.
Maybe a little, there we go. Oh, that's beautiful. The estimate was generated by scholars and former U.S. officials as part of planning around Trump's aspiration to acquire the 800,000 square mile island as a strategic buffer in the Arctic against America's top adversaries. These people said it attaches a price tag of more than half the Defense Department's annual budget to Trump's national security priority, which has stoked anxiety across Europe and on Capitol Hill. Okay. So if we buy, I mean, it's like, when are people going, I don't know. I like to think that I'm like an objective guy, and I'm self-aware enough to admit that I lean left. But when are we going to admit that this is Hitler shit? When are we finally can we finally admit that this is Hitler shit? Saying that your country needs to annex another country before the competing world power does it is Hitler shit. Okay? I'm not talking about Hitler's actual poo. I'm talking about Hitler's rhetoric. It's Hitler rhetoric. And I mean, if we do this, if we take Greenland, we may literally, I don't even know how the lines, I haven't even thought about it. I don't know how the lines would be drawn for World War III. Would it be the United States and Greenland versus the world? Are we really prepared? Let me ask you, let's just ponder this question together, real time. Are we willing to go enter World War III as the United States and Greenland and Israel versus Russia, China, India, and let's be honest, probably Canada? I bet Canada and Europe. You know, the lines for World War III, the teams for World War III the lineup is looking insane. It's going to be the United States, the colony of Greenland, now owned by the United States, and Israel versus the entire rest of the world. It's going to be the US, Israel, Greenland versus China, Russia, Germany, France. Well, actually, we could win if we're facing France. Whoever France. I mean, honestly, we'd probably take France. I think we'd have I think we're going to lose. I think we're going to lose, but we're going to have a good run at it. We're going to have a good run in World War III, but ultimately it's not looking good. Yeah, so
what do we lose if we lose World War III, Sean? What do you think that might be?
Our pride. We're going to lose our pride. First of all, we lose the white race, which is ultimately, let's be honest. That's our biggest fear. Losing the whites. Honestly, if we lose the whites in World War III, then it'll be a win for pretty much everyone. I don't know, guys. I just let's move on. I don't know. This is just sad. So we got Greenland. So we're going to take Greenland. That's good. No new wars. New countries. No new wars, but new colonies. No new wars. No new NATO. No new allies. No new friends. He should have ran on that. Trump ran on no new wars. He should have ran on no new friends. I think honestly, Trump just needs to stop listening to Drake. I think that's what's happening is that Trump is listening to Drake every day and he's listening to Laugh Now, Cry Later. And he's like, I'm going to die. I got to get a Nobel Peace Prize. I think Trump is just trying to get into heaven. He said that recently where he was like, I'm very worried about not getting into heaven. I always forget. I'm like, oh, you actually and he could just be lying about this, but because he just loves to lie. But he was on the Air Force One earlier. He was like, I'm worried about not getting into heaven. And I was like, oh, right. You actually believe in heaven. How do you believe in heaven? Trump fears he won't get into heaven. I think he has nothing to worry about. Great. Hey, I have news for both of you. You're both going to burn in hell, by the way. Hell's not real, but I hope it is. So So let's zoom out a little bit though. I'm really I like to, it's tough. I like to take my mind off of things. Sometimes it's really important to just take your mind off geopolitics and relax. And one of the best ways that I like to relax is I like to kick back and relax and have a glass of wine. I'm sober, but I pour a glass of wine and pretend that I drink. I like to kick back and I like to relax. And I don't know about you guys, I like to kick my feet up Sunday night, turn on the TV, and put $100,000 on the Golden Globes. That's what I do personally to relax is I kick my feet up, I rail 5 or 6 lines of Adderall, I punch a hole in the wall in my apartment, and I lose $50,000 to $100,000 on a bunch of prop bets as I watch the Golden Globes. Do you guys like that? Do you guys like that too? Do you guys do that too? Are you guys happy that everything is a casino now? Hey, you know what? Hey, for everyone that works in Silicon Valley, good job, guys. Yeah, woo! You did it. You made everything. You guys made everything. You guys made everything a casino. You guys, I can't give it up, guys. Give it up for all the tech executives. You guys did it. You're so smart. We invested so much money in your education and built all of these skills so that you could be these really intelligent engineers and scientists and researchers and mathematicians. And what did you guys decide to do? You didn't cure cancer. You didn't create reusable clean energy. A lot of you know what you did? You went to Palantir, which is down, by the way, suck my cock, choke on my cock. And if you didn't work at Palantir because you weren't smart enough to get into Palantir, you probably ended up taking a job at Polymarket, which is making a casino out of everything. And look, I love gambling. I am not this like prude guy. Like I am not this like stiff guy. I like gambling. I don't know. I also think I'm also rational. I actually don't have an issue with prediction markets being brought to the Golden Globes. I don't know if you guys, I don't think anyone that listens to this watches the Golden Globes. If you guys don't know, the Golden Globes is not a porno. It sounds like a porno featuring the Harlem Globetrotters or something like that. It's not. It's an event where they give out awards. Where Timothy Chalamet gives out a bunch of awards. That's what it is. So this year the Golden Globes were sponsored by Polymarket. Polymarket is one of the top Polymarket and Kalshi, one of these top prediction websites where you can bet on anything. You can bet on anything on Polymarket. Did you know that? Did you know that you can bet on anything on Polymarket? You can bet if Benson Boone is going to do a backflip in Israel before the end of the year. That's what you can go on Polymarket right now and you can type in Benson Boone and there's probably something like, will Benson Boone do a backflip in Riyadh before Q4? Like that's the kind of shit that's most of what it is. But I bring this up because it's really exhausting that Polymarket is being shoved down our fucking throats. It's it's a blockchain. Like we don't need this. No one needs this. Okay? People are calling these prediction sites like Polymarket and Kalshi, they're calling them like recession indicators. You know what I'm saying? These are not recession indicators. These are depression indicators. They are fascist indicators, okay? I don't think it's healthy for our society where you can go on a website and you can bet on which country the United States will bomb next. By the way, you can do that. By the way, not only, and that's how they get you. That's how they hook you, right? That's how they hook you. They go, oh, we're Polymarket and we're gonna you can bet on, will Pluribus win best show? Will Pluribus be the net best TV drama of 2025? By the way, I'm so glad that did not happen. I am so glad.
Big fan of the show.
I'm a huge fan of Pluribus. I was on the edge of my seat. And that's how they get you. Like, that's a bet I would make. I'd be like, there's no way Pluribus wins best. It's like, that show is dog shit. The only way to build wealth as a US citizen in 2026 is to make a Polymarket account, and you take your $250 that you get for working 5 days, right, after tax, and you put all of your money in Polymarket. And what I want you to do, if you really want to build wealth, is I want you to go on Polymarket, and I want you to bet on what country that the US will bomb next. That is the only way to build wealth. If you want to build wealth, don't put it in a 401k. BlackRock's just going to take all your fucking money, okay? You don't want to do that, all right? I'm telling you, you want to make some real money. What you need to do, go on a Polymarket, and I want you to put $250 and buy a yes that we will bomb Somalia next. All right? That is the only way to build wealth. You can scroll down here. This is from their website. This is a real thing you can do. Yemen was a no. Oh, so so Somalia, we bomb them next. So this is actually a finished bet. This is how you build wealth. Scroll down. It says there's also one that says no countries until 2027. You want to know how many? I did not make that bet. This is fucking crazy. Iraq, Iran, Syria, other. None before 2027. That was never going to happen.
Looks like the lion's share of the money was there too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
on Somalia?
Well, maybe the largest piece of the pie. Iran was pretty high up there too. Maybe I might be misspeaking here, but it was one of the higher ones.
Yeah. So the way, what you want to do is look at the top 3 countries. I mean, really what you want to do is,
Wait. The company that had the highest total volume was the one we bombed.
That's right. Right. Because Connor, what you have to understand is there's wisdom in the crowd. That's the funny thing about that's the funny thing. These prediction markets, they say we're leveraging the wisdom of the crowd to create unique and novel data analytics. Well, I'll say one thing. I don't know how much wisdom there is in the crowd, because this is the crowd, by the way, that would rather watch the Golden Globes than fight fascism. Okay? I don't know how much wisdom there is. People go, like these prediction websites, they go, oh, there's wisdom in the crowd, and if people are incentivized to put money, then they're gonna think more about their decisions, and that's invaluable information that we're bringing to the world. Let me tell you something. This is just a website for the Trump administration to put money on events that they are facilitating before they happen. And you know what's even crazier about this is that you only make money. Here's what I really want to say about these prediction markets that I think is actually crazy. If you think about it, let's say that you're in the Trump administration, okay? And let's say that you have the ability to make a strategic decision that would affect the outcome of a Polymarket event. The crazy thing is, you guys, you only really make money when there's a massive flip. You only really make money on Polymarket when something was at 2% and then suddenly it's at 100%. That's how you can make make a shitload of money. So what does that mean for us? It means that Polymarket is creating an incentive for people to do things that are unexpected and then make money off of those things that were unexpected actually happening. So in this case, right, Somalia was bombed first. But you can imagine a world where I mean, scroll up. We can even look at the chart. We are sponsored by Polymarket. They are a sponsor, full disclosure. Polymarket.com/Sean Show. You will be arrested. So Somalia, I believe Somalia, can you scroll up a little bit? Or let's see the full chart. So Somalia wasn't even that likely, and then suddenly it ramped up to ramped up. It's that teal blue line. So it ramped, it was like half and half. And then suddenly it ramped up in the last day. So that's what's fucking insane about this stuff is if you're in charge of what country we bomb, you could literally put money on this and then bomb that country so that you make money. And this is fine. This is a totally unregulated thing. Anyone can be involved. Anyone can bet on any poly market you want to. You could be Benson Boone and you could do a backflip and make money on fucking poly market. I mean, we are on season 9 million of Black Mirror. This is the most Black Mirror shit I've ever seen in my life. By the way, I had this idea 10 years ago, a crypto-based prediction market. I had this idea, so they're not even unique, okay? But this is the number 2 growing market in the United States right now is gambling and prediction markets. Okay, so we need to really realize I don't know. I'm just at a loss. I'm at a loss. Kalshi, same thing. I mean, can we click on just go to the homepage for Poly Market? I mean, what else can we bet on?
Do you see Robinhood has prediction markets now too?
I saw that too. Robinhood. Oh, here we go. Khamenei out as supreme leader of Iran by January 31. So that's great. That's great. You can just bet on, you can just bet on regime change. You can just literally bet on regime change, and this is apparently fine. And in a way though, it's interesting because this is actually just the next evolution of what already existed, which was foreign currency markets. A lot of this stuff, it's really just foreign currency markets with a better UI this is foreign currency markets for idiots. You could always kind of bet on regime change by just betting against the currency of the country that you think is going to fail. So I'm not saying in a way it's new, but in a way it's not. In a way it's like this new dystopian version of what has always been around, which is just capitalism. U.S. strikes Iran by ... And you can bet whether we'll strike Iran. There's a 7% chance we'll strike Iran by January 16th. Isn't that nice? That's nice.
58 million in volume.
And 57 million of that is Hunter Biden. And the other 1 million is Barron Trump. Polymarket, I would literally kill to be Barron Trump at NYU. Guys, can you imagine what it's like to be Barron Trump right now? He's at NYU on his laptop on Polymarket, texting JD Vance and saying, hey, any intel on who we strike next? And JD Vance is like, what's up, Barron? Probably Somalia. Okay, thanks, JD. Thanks, JD. I'll say a prayer for victory. That's what they say. I'll say a prayer for victory. So, but again, this is what entertainment is now. This is fun. Polymarket is DraftKings for autistic men. That's what it is. Polymarket and Kalshi, that's DraftKings. It's sports betting for guys with autism. Okay? You can bet on when ChatGPT will get ads. You know what market I want to see on Polymarket? I want to bet on this market. I want to bet on one that says, will the Polymarket founders go to prison before 2027? I'd like to see that. Will Polymarket's founders go to jail before 2027 for insider trading? We live in a dystopian nightmare, and I'm not this like crazy guy. I am fundamentally, I believe in a lot of the capitalist ethos. Okay, I want to make money on this comedy show. I'm not saying that like capitalism is a bad thing. All right, but like this is like the most reprehensible fucking Ayn Rand bullshit I've ever seen in my life. I mean, creating a market where you can bet on whether or not Russia will and the Russia-Ukraine ceasefire will end, or will get in a ceasefire before 2028. It's sick. It's a sickness. It's a sick thing to do. But the sad thing is, what else is there for people to do? What else is there for people to do? You can't get in the stock market. The stock market has been it's been a huge, you can make money in the stock market, but like everyone's just waiting for the AI bubble to crash, right? I mean, the valuations of every company's valued so highly right now that it's like, I think people are terrified. So the only way, and people aren't making any money at their jobs, the only way for people to make money is slanging dope or slanging bets. You got to bet. You have to make a bet. You have to make a bet on the regime change in the Middle East. Do you want to be able to own a home in 2030? You better be very hip to geopolitical gyrations. What you need to do is bet on regime change, and that's how you make money. So that's that. Did I bet on anything? I of course bet on Timothy Chalamet, looking hot as fuck, hot as ever. I bet on Timothy Chalamet looking hot as ever on the Golden Globes, and I won. So that's that. I mean, let's move on. I don't know. There's we got so much to. We live in a dystopian nightmare. We really do. I'm really struggling to see the bright side here. One bright side, I mean, we have so much news, Connor. What do you think we should do next?
I mean, if you're looking for bright sides, you could look at furry parties in Mar-a-Lago.
Okay, let's do that. What else do we got? I want to save that one because I'm already aroused. I want to save that for when I'm flaccid.
We got Alex Karp, our favorite guy, some Peter Thiel stuff. We can talk about Palantir, one of your favorite subjects, Pete Hegseth's.
Yeah. I forgot. Let's do the Pete Hegseth. So that's all good. Thank you. Up next. So there was two things that happened that are insane. The first thing that happened, well, one is insane and one is kind of not that insane. They're kind of insane when you put them together. So Grok, which is Elon Musk's version of ChatGPT, has been in hot water recently. How hot has the water been? Well, water has been hot because people were going onto Grok, and this is like an episode of The Office. This is like, there's an episode of The Office where that one of the characters has like a startup and or like has an internet startup where people can buy paper online or something like that, and then the website was infiltrated by a bunch of pedophiles. And so what's happened with Grok is Grok was being used to generate child sex abuse material, which is called CSAM. Okay? And that's not surprising, right? Because Elon Musk's AI is supposed to be the anti-woke. We actually covered Grok, by the way, on the Patreon, patreon.com/Sean Show. Grok has its own Wikipedia where if you go to Hitler's Wikipedia page if you go to Hitler's, I hate the world. If you go to Hitler's Grokpedia, it calls him the Fuhrer. Remember that? If we go to Grokpedia for Hitler, it calls him the Fuhrer. And that same AI, where if you go on Hitler's Grokpedia, it calls him the Fuhrer of the Third Reich. The same AI that was used to be queried to generate child sex abuse material, the lowest reprehensible shit you can imagine. Fortunately for everyone, now that same AI is going to be integrated into the Pentagon. That same AI is going to be used to spy on you. It's going to be used in the military. Pentagon embraces Musk's Grok AI chatbot as it draws global outcry. I mean, I don't see why. You know what? At this point, why not? I read this story. I was like, why not? Why not? Why? So this is from a few days ago here. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said Monday that Elon Musk's artificial intelligence chatbot Grok will join Google's generative AI engine in operating inside the Pentagon network as part of a broader push to feed as much of the military's data as possible into the developing technology. Now, what does this all mean? Let me break it down for you. Basically, what it means is that if you are determined by the AI, military AI in the US, to be an enemy of the state or a communist, here's what's going to happen. They'll use Grok AI to generate child porn and put it on your device. And they'll say, "What's that?" And you go, "I don't know how that got there." And they go, "Well, seems like you got some shit on your laptop that you shouldn't have." And they're going to use that as a pretext to arrest you and send you to El Salvador. That's probably what's going to happen. That's their play. That's the Epstein playbook. It's going to be the Epstein playbook. Because the Epstein playbook was go to the island and we'll film you doing some crazy shit with teenagers or younger, and then we control you. This is really scary shit, you guys. And so the fact that they're just out in the open talking about how Grok is, the AI that is just that the guys, remember Grok praised Hitler? Grok praised Hitler, generates child porn, and now it gets a defense contract, and that's like fine. And no, but it's a free market. We live in a free market. Hey, they won the contract. What can I tell you? It didn't have anything to do with who started the AI. It didn't have anything to do with the fact that Elon Musk was the head of Doge and started Doge and has a relationship with the Trump administration. It definitely didn't have anything to do with that, right? No way. Grok was the best choice. That's what it is. That's what they want you to believe. Pete Hegseth, they're now, so this is real. The Pentagon is now contracting with Grok. Okay. And they've contracted with Grok AI to generate insights on data that the Pentagon has, which, by the way, is everything. Okay? And what they want you to believe is when we see this and we go, hey, isn't Grok AI, isn't that the one that generated child porn and also praised Hitler openly? And they want to go, yeah, but we did an analysis and Grok AI was our best choice. Grok was the best choice. Oh, really? Yeah, really. Grok AI was the best choice. This contract shouldn't even exist, by the way. The Pentagon contracting with AI companies, it's an arms race. People even are calling Sam Altman this generation's Oppenheimer. Right? They're comparing AI they're comparing the capability of AI to the capability of a nuclear bomb. And the question is, will it be used for evil? Will it be used for good? Or something in between? And if history tells us anything, we're going to use it to fuck Japan. That's kind of like, okay, so if you're saying that Sam Altman is the next Oppenheimer, then somehow the AI we are developing is going to be used to fuck Japan twice. I don't know how maybe that's just a speculation. And you know what? If you want to make that comparison, I by the way, I don't think that that's a very apt comparison, because Oppenheimer was a gentleman who had reservations about what he was doing. Sam Altman is going gas pedal to the motherfucking floor, saying this technology will probably destroy the world, and that makes me hard as a rock. Every AI executive, when they talk, every single time I see a clip of an AI executive with a stupid little fucking mini-ass mic, I hate seeing corporate executives with that dumbass fucking mini little mic that they have. The mic is like smaller than a nano of a fucking atom. Choke on that little dick mic. I hate that little tiny TED Talk white mic that they have, and they do the fucking hands. AI is going to be transformative. Shut the fuck up. I am so exhausted by hearing how transformative AI is going to be, because all I've seen it do so far is enable fascism, praise Hitler, and generate CP. Child porn, not cheese pizza, for my conspiracy theorists out there. It's a disgusting. It's reckless. It's reckless. It's coming, and it's not going to stop, because the entire guys. Maybe I'll put it differently. The entire United States economy, all of our GDP hinges on AI. If AI doesn't deliver unlimited growth forever, we're going to go into a depression. You know? We're going to go into, I mean, we really, here's where the United States is at. If we don't empower the fascists to take over, then our economy will collapse. If we don't let the military-industrial complex contract with the AI industry to oppress us, then the jobs numbers will be bad. You know, I go, and that's truly, those are the sides. If you want to talk about who versus who, you want to talk about the silent. People say there's a silent civil war going on. It's true. It's the people that want job growth and the people that don't care about job growth. Okay? People come to me worried. They go, Sean, aren't you worried that AI is being used by Palantir is contracting with ICE and they're going to kidnap us and send us to El Salvador prisons? I'm like, okay, yeah, but like if we don't let that happen, then how are we going to beat the jobs number this month? You know, it's really important that when you're talking about the rampant fascism that's being spread across America, I want you to remember that Q2 is around the corner. Q2 is around the corner, all right? And are you filling the pipeline? What about the pipeline? What about the growth? What about Q2? What about the deals? What about the deals? Are you closing the deals? Are you following up? Are you following up with the people, the decision makers? What are you doing? Your neighbor got kidnapped by ICE? Your neighbor got shot with a beanbag and got blinded? Well, I need you to get back to work. Oh, you're worried about seeing these videos? You're worried? Hey, I get it. I get that you're worried. I'm worried too. I get that you're worried about seeing all these videos of ICE agents bashing in windows, kidnapping people, throwing them into black vans, shooting beanbags at people in the head, blinding people, killing people. I get that you're worried, but I need you to get back to work. I need you to get back to but you don't want to, you got to get back to work. I need you to flip those hamburgers. I need you to deliver that mail, and I need you to pay your taxes. Okay? If you don't pay your taxes, this whole thing falls apart. And no one wants that. I need you to send that email just do me a favor. Take a little breather. Go smoke a cigarette outside. I'll give you 5 minutes, and I want you to come back inside, and I want you to do some follow-up emails for me. I want you to send some follow-up emails. Okay? It's very important that you do that. ICE is out. Oh, they took your mom? Okay. Well, you can call her at 5. Oh, ICE took your mom? You can call her at 5 o'clock. It's 3:45 right now. Okay? So I need you to finish up the workday. Okay? Your performance review is coming. Do you want to get, I'm just saying, like, do you want a bad performance review? Because you're just going to walk away? You're going to walk away from Riley Refrigerators. You're going to walk away from this refrigerator sales manufacturing company because your mom got taken by ICE. Okay. Last I checked, you said you really cared about refrigerators when you applied for the job. Now, all of a sudden, it seems like you don't care about refrigerators just because we're in a fascist country now. So you don't care about refrigerators and selling them. Now that just because we're a fascist country doesn't mean the refrigerators don't get sold. Oh, Hitler, we're using a Hitler AI in the Pentagon? I don't care. Yeah, they're using, hey, did you hear they're using a Hitler AI? They're using an AI that praised Hitler in the Pentagon. And yeah, that's fun. Can you scroll down a little bit? Maybe I don't know if there's more meat on the bone, but
I looked at the value of the contract. $200 million.
That's nothing. Get that number up. Very soon, we will have the world's leading AI models on every unclassified and classified network throughout our department, except the Epstein files. PDX had said in a speech. So they're gonna run Grok AI, but I promise you guys that they will not be running AI on the Epstein files. That's the only set of documents that I want to run AI on. I want you to run Grok through the Epstein files. The announcement comes just days after Grok, which is embedded into X, drew global outcry and scrutiny for generating highly sexualized deepfake images of people without their consent. Malaysia and Indonesia have blocked Grok, while the UK's independent online safety watchdog announced an investigation on Monday. Grok has limited image generation and editing to paying users. I mean, I don't know. It's beyond satire. I don't know even where to go. I don't know where to go. The entire military's IT systems data will be available for AI exploitation. He also said data from intelligence databases will be fed into AI systems. I mean, I don't know. I mean, get on board. Truly, let's do this Alex Karp thing next, because I think it's a good segue. So, I mean, that's it. You either get on board with the AI fascists, or you die. You get on board, okay, or you die. This is my favorite guy, Jim Cramer. This is from about 4 months ago, I think, but I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention because I can't get enough of this guy. I cannot. I would love to interview him. I know I've promised you guys I'll never interview anyone because it biases me. I will make an exception. My one exception. No, I won't. But being in this guy's presence really must be something else. It must feel like Adderall. I think he exudes Adderall and ketamine from he sweats Adderall out of his pores. Just like I sweat caffeine out of my pores, that guy sweats amphetamines. Hitler, people say that Hitler smoked a lot of meth. I think Alex Karp may be on meth. A lot of guys that are really into fascism and control and planning, For some reason, they love meth. And I actually think that makes sense because, there's this stereotype where when you do meth, you like make your apartment really clean. I feel like that's what he wants to do. Like he just wants to make the world clean, quote unquote. I'm using air quotes, which in his mind is an ethnic cleansing. So this is Alex Karp, and this is from about 4 months ago, and this is from one of my favorite podcasts, the All In podcast, where Chamath Potato and a bunch of other loser venture capitalists talk about their plans for you. That's what the All In podcast is. This is for the ladies. For the ladies. If you're dating a guy and he unironically watches the All In podcast, I need you to run. You take your phone, don't even put your shoes on. You run out the door because the All In podcast features these are the people that really run shit, by the way. And I'm not talking about the Jews because Chamath's up there. He's like Indian. These are the people that really run shit. And I'm bringing this to your attention because they had Alex Karp on. And let's jump to our first timestamp where Alex Karp talks about why Palantir is important and how it relates to ICE and AI. And it ties into everything that we've talked about so far. And it also kind of sets the stage for the contrast between what he says and what's happening. So let's take a look.
Thing I would say, and we can go through each one of these individual things. The obvious fact is, if you care about not being surveilled illegally, if you care about the treatment of people who come into the country illegally but deserve adequate treatment, if you care about lives in Gaza, in Ukraine, and all over the world where Palantir is used, you're going to want the best software in the world because it's the only way you can reduce and more precisely target the people and justifiably. And actually, the only way where you can say this person did this and they deserve to go. And so, and in each one of these things has to be steel-manned and then...
Let's do that for the second one, the border. Tucker said yesterday when he spoke to President Trump, there was no way to know, are there 30 million people here illegally, 40, 50, whatever it happens to be? You say you call BS on that. We could easily do it.
I didn't say we could easily do it, and I'm not calling BS on that. I'm actually saying it's a very, very hard problem, but in the world of AI and software, you can't say it can't be done.
It could very easily be done if we put cameras everywhere and we just did facial recognition.
Well, again,
but
yes,
we don't want to live in that.
It could be very easily done if you eviscerate our civil liberties. Yeah, that's
Correct.
Not being done.
Right.
Okay,
That's
pause
why
it.
I could grow your...
Hey, Alex Karp, you are the one eviscerating our civil liberties. That is the ultimate irony of the Palantir CEO. The Palantir CEO, Mr. Alex Karp, would like to have you believe that his company exists to protect the West and Western civil liberties, the founding fathers. What would the founding fathers have done? They wouldn't have fucking allowed Palantir. I'll tell you that much. What would George Washington have done? He wouldn't have built an AI surveillance database on everyone that's Mexican, you fuck. What would Thomas Jefferson would have... I often ask this is Alex Karp. I often ask myself I think about the West and why the West exists and all the values that we have. And he's like bouncing around in his seat. Can you fucking sit? You know what? Can you sit still, you autistic fuck? I have autism. I can say that. I'm self-diagnosed. It's just, I don't know, and I don't know what is this guy's fucking appeal? These Harvard lawyers. The All In podcast is like a bunch of Harvard lawyer venture capitalists asking the future Goebbels of the fascist United States what he thinks of the Fourth Amendment. What's your take on how many immigrants are like? I mean, it's like this is not crazy to anyone else. It's a bunch of white guys in suits going, are there 30 million illegal immigrants or 40 million? And then Alex Karp goes, well, we can use AI and find out. We can use AI and find out. And that's the funny thing is that and to zoom out a little bit, whether it be the Palantir CEO or whether it be JD Vance or whether it be Donald Trump or anyone that defends ICE, they are claiming that they're doing all of this shit to protect the United States and our Western values because they want to live in a country with people that understand Western values and understand the Bill of Rights and believe in the Constitution. That's why we're doing this. That's what they say. And in order, but in order to do that, we just have to do a little fascism. We have to do a little tiny Can we do a little tiny fascism, please? That's the ask. The ask from the Trump administration is, hey, that's what they're trying to sell you. And that's why no one is buying this shit anymore. No one is buying this shit anymore, okay? No one is buying this shit anymore. Palantir and the Pentagon, Elon Musk, Sam Altman, all of the elites that control the world right now, they are asking the public for their trust. And here's what they're saying. They go, hey, don't worry. I know it's all really scary, but we believe we want you to have your liberty. But in order to give you the liberty that you want, we need to do a little tiny fascism. We need to do a little bit of Hitler stuff. I believe in your Bill of Rights. Did I make an AI that praised Hitler? Yes. But that doesn't mean I don't believe in the values of the West. Let's talk about the values of the West. Where in the Bill of Rights does it say to build an AI surveillance tool and contract with an AI software company that makes child porn? Is that the Third Amendment? Is the Third Amendment the one where you contract with an AI company that praises Hitler? Is it the fourth? I forgot. In the Constitution, is it in the preamble? Remember the preamble? They made me learn the preamble in middle school, and I knew it was fucking bullshit. They go, you have to memorize the preamble of the Constitution. I'm like, this is a document written by man and means nothing. Oh, you're gonna make me memorize the preamble? How about you memorize? This dick? I had to memorize the preamble in like 6th grade for American history, and I had to recite it. Remember the Pledge of Allegiance? Do you guys remember the Pledge of Allegiance and how they made us do it in school as if it meant anything? And you know what? I learned very quickly that you don't have to stand for that. Because all you're doing when you pledge allegiance is you're pledging allegiance to Chevron. I pledge allegiance to OpenAI and the United States of Grok, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under Sam Altman, indivisible, with liberty and justice for whites. I pledge allegiance to NVIDIA and Elon Musk, and I pledge allegiance to Palantir, and I pledge my allegiance to ICE because I'm very scared. So, let's jump around a little bit. Let's go just go to a random. These guys are such fucks. Just jump around.
This is big. They're fundamental issues. Does Israel have a claim to the land? Yes. Does Israel? Yeah. So again, does Israel have a right to defend it?
Did you choose that randomly?
Fully random.
I'm telling you that it's literally. So, and then they clap. It's just. Sorry, I'm eating some candy. I'm diabetic. I'm not yet, but It's so he talks about civil liberties and the values of the West. He talks about like your rights, and then a half hour later, it's not about the rights. It's not about your inalienable rights as a human being endowed upon you by Jesus Christ. It's you gotta go. You have rights that are you. Did you guys? And that's what these fuckers believe. That's what these fucking warmongering psychopaths. That's how they think. They go, my rights are endowed upon me, and they're inalienable, and they are given to me by Jesus Christ, the Constitution, and Santa Claus, and Burger King, and Raytheon. That's my rights, motherfucker. Come and take it. Okay? That's my shit. Okay? Every human being in this world that is a United States citizen and was born in the United States and can prove it has those rights. By the way, if you live in a certain part of the Middle East, you gotta go because we want that land. Does Israel have a right to the land? And then he goes, of course they do. And then everyone claps. So, I mean, what are you going to do? What do you like? These are, and by the way, all of these guys, it's so crazy because the All In podcast creates political parties, and they create the All In podcast is like the Illuminati. You know, I miss the days when the smoke-filled rooms where all the decisions were actually made. I miss the days when those smoke-filled rooms didn't have fucking cameras. Because at least it gave some, and that's why the United States is falling apart. You know what? You want to know what it is? I think that the United States is falling apart right now because all of the people that actually decide what happens in our country, they used to do it behind closed doors, and they used to smoke cigars, and they made the decisions, and there was at least this illusion that voting mattered and that you had power in your democracy, okay? And then all those guys behind those closed doors, they realized that they have more power if they make it content. The All In podcast is covert statecraft as content. The All In podcast is statecraft in front of a camera. It's literally Alex Karp going, I mean, yeah, let's fucking bomb them. Let's do it now. As a podcast. A live audio. This is like a covert, it's an overt coup. They're doing coups. Planning coups is content now. Planning coups is content now. They're all influencer. Everyone has to be a fucking influencer. Me included, by the way. Guilty. But you know what I'm not doing? I'm not running a business where I contract with a government agency that rips families apart and talking about that on a podcast. What are we at, Connor? I've been talking a lot.
Just hit an hour.
Okay, what else should we do?
Well, we have
so much to do.
There's something slightly related with how ICE is using Palantir that you have in your notes here.
Oh, let's do that. I think this is I read this. So let's get into the deets because I think this stuff is crazy. This stuff is crazy. So this is from the New Republic, which I'm sure is a leftist rag, and I don't even realize it. But this is a fun headline. So ICE is using a terrifying Palantir app to determine where to raid. The app shows potential deportation targets on a map. Now, just already, does that sound like your civil liberties are being respected? Does that sound like let me ask you guys this. Do you think if you just stop a random ICE agent and you asked him, hey, can you tell me the Fourth Amendment off the top of your head? I don't think he would be able to say it. I think he would shoot you with a less lethal. And so that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you what do these people say and what are they doing? Because actions speak louder than words, okay? So the Palantir CEO, he may say that he cares about the values of the West and civil liberties. But meanwhile, his company right now is contracting with ICE to create an app where ICE can just go and on a hunch, detain you. So according to a user guide obtained by 404 Media, the app provides ICE agents with digital maps populated by potential deportation targets, each of which has their own detailed dossier, including information such as their name, date of birth, alien registration number. I love that. Doesn't that sound very civil liberty-esque? How are you going to protect our civil liberties? Oh, well, we're going to give everyone an alien registration number. How are you going to protect my civil liberties? Oh, well, don't worry. We're going to tattoo an alien registration number on you. We're going to generate a number and give it to you. And a photograph of the target. The dossier also includes a confidence score out of 100 as to how certain the app is of the target's address. Now, how did they collect this data? Do you think they got a warrant on Jose or Mohammed? Do you think that ICE and Palantir got a warrant when they did all of this mass surveillance? Do you think they got called? Because you guys know, do you guys know what a warrant is? A warrant requires the signature of a judge for a single warrant to get access and to search your home, your personal data. You need a warrant. You should need a warrant. But what Palantir has done, they're creating these databases, and they're certainly not getting a warrant before they allow ICE to use this data to detain people. Enhanced leads identification and targeting for enforcement. ELITE is what it stands for. Is a targeting tool designed to improve capabilities for identifying and prioritizing high-value targets through advanced analytics. The information comes from a number of sources, including the Department of Health and Human Services, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, Clear, which could be an investigation software from Thomson Reuters. Okay. So let me just read you this, and you tell me if your rights are being respected. The Palantir's app has a geospatial lead sourcing tab, which allows ICE agents to select targets based on a number of criteria, including bios and IDs, criminality, location, and operations. I am moving to China. This sounds like it's more. This is China. I am leaving. This makes me want to leave. So Palantir created a software where they give you a criminality score. That sounds like a social credit score. A criminality probability, a location, operations. You know what's in the operations column in the data? It's whether you're a line cook or a delivery driver. Hey, we actually we have this map that we the ICE. I mean, do you guys realize that if the ICE agents succeed at what they're doing, that the United States will be left with the worst culinary experiences in the whole world? Can we not forget about that? Can we not forget that if ICE agents are successful, not only will it devastate families and will plunge into fascism, the food here will be fucking terrible. It's going to be Subway and fucking P. Terry's Whataburger. You want to be in a country where all your options are Whataburger and Wendy's and Sonic? I mean, what is it going to take for people to wake up? How can I convince? Because people, I think average Americans, they don't give a fuck about their rights. No one actually cares about their rights. What they care about is what they're going to lose. So let me tell you what you're going to lose if you support ICE. You're going to lose that authentic Mexican taco experience in San Diego and LA. You're going to lose that amazing Korean restaurant in Koreatown. Even if you live in the middle of the fucking South, you're going to lose the fucking farmers that pick our food. You're going to lose, we're going to be left with British food. We're going to be left with British dog shit, pickled cucumber cabbage dog shit piss. That is what ICE wants to make a country where our options for food are turkey sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, orange juice, and if you want to get a little crazy, you can get fish and chips, or you can get a British guy pisses in your mouth and then jams a fucking cabbage down your throat. That's the food options that will be left, okay? If you don't care about the families being ripped apart, I get that. Most Americans are like, well, as long as it's not my family's getting ripped apart. Let me tell you this. You want that nice Mexican burrito? I'll tell you what. The best food that you've ever had in the United States was made by an illegal immigrant. And if you can admit that to yourself and realize that the food we're losing is valuable among many other things, I have nothing to say to you. Maybe that's the way to get Americans on our side, Connor, is you got to go, hey, I get you don't want illegal immigrants taking your job, but what about your lunch order? What about lunch? What about lunch? People don't care about fascism. People don't care about America plunging into fascism. You have to meet them where they are, which is, what am I having for lunch? And what are my lunch options? And I'm telling you, in a fascist country, your lunch options will go from 12 to 2. Let's scroll down a little bit here. I mean, this is very scary shit. Keep going down. I mean, this is a long article. Yeah, keep going down. I mean, it's really just a reprehensible. So this is from another. This is another quote. This is the quote. Ready? You're gonna go to a more dense population rather than if there's like one pin at a house and the likelihood of them actually living there is 10%. You're not gonna go there, said an ICE agent who was identified as JB in the court documents. You want to know what JB stands for? John Bitchass, said an ICE agent. John Bitchass fuck. While the user guide does not explicitly state what company created the app, the app's full name appears in the $30 million supplemental agreement with Palantir that started in September and plans to continue for at least 1 year. Okay, so it's pretty obviously Palantir. ICE previously signed, okay, this is crazy. Listen to this. ICE previously signed an agreement with Palantir in July to develop an immigration OS platform, which would use artificial intelligence to identify and track potential targets. ICE has also assembled a team to monitor social media 24/7. That does not sound like a company that loves the West. We're going to protect your Western values by making a list of every person that's an immigrant, and we're going to call it Immigrant OS. And we're going to monitor Instagram and TikTok and X and Facebook and YouTube and Reddit. It's an insane time to be alive. I don't know where this goes. I don't know where it goes, and I don't know where we're going to land, people. Yeah, that's, remember this. if you take nothing else from this episode, you guys, I want you to know that, you know, your rights never existed, okay? But you know what they are taking from you? You know what they are taking from you? They're taking your lunch order. And I know, and that is sadly what I think will resonate with most people. What's going to resonate with people is, you know, it's not that they have the right. It's not that they're just going to bash in your door and disrespect your rights. People don't care about that. The way to get people on your side with this is you have to tell them that restaurant's going to close. You know that restaurant you love is run by illegal immigrants, okay? So why don't you think about that tonight before you decide if you're on the side of the fascists that have no culinary taste or the pussy liberals that have good food options, okay? That's what I want you to reflect on today. And we will be continuing our coverage in the Patreon episode, patreon.com/Sean's Show, where we're going to be watching Peter Thiel appeared on the All In podcast. So we're going to watch that. And I'm rock hard for that. We have so much more to cover. And this one wasn't that funny, but you know, I try my best, you guys. It's hard to make it funny, but we will. I love you. Stay safe out there. Fuck ICE. Hail Satan. And subscribe to the YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Bye.